Hey everybody, I'm Tony Maciulis from CBSNews.com, and obviously the big story that everybody's covering today is still the collapse of the bridge in Minneapolis. I'm here in the investigative unit actually with Armen Keteyian, who's doing a piece for tonight on what might have gone wrong, and we heard the NTSB chairman today saying this is going to take a long time, but they do have some clues, right?
Well, that's what we're doing right now, Tony. We're trying to sift through a lot of different clues, looking at various engineering reports. And I mean, I've got one in my hand here. Here's a fatigue evaluation and redundancy analysis report. I'm sure you'd want to take that home and go to sleep with it overnight.
Right,
but,
exactly.
We're pouring through these. This is an MDOT, the Minnesota Department of Transportation inspection report, trying to understand what MDOT knew and when.
Right.
I mean, these are very complicated stories, particularly for people like me, who are not certainly engineering experts by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Armen, some of these reports go all the way back to 1990, reports of there being structural deficiencies. Who is responsible for that? Was enough done? Are those the sorts of questions?
Well, those
that
are
you're
the questions
asking?
everybody's asking. I mean, certainly when a bridge, collapses, something of this magnitude, everybody goes, why, and who knew what when. But you have to understand, too, to be fair, and obviously we want to be that, is, there are bridges in this country, tens of thousands of them,
right,
with structural deficiencies.
Well, I think the big question on everybody's mind tonight is the fact that there are 70 or 80,000 bridges that also have that same safety rating. Yeah. Was the problem with this bridge, does it sound like it was some sort of anomaly, or is this something that we could see start repeating itself?
Well, I mean, we live in New York City, you looked at the huge steam explosion. I live in Connecticut, not all that long ago we had a bridge collapse in Connecticut. There's no question. I mean, if there's one thing we've all learned about this, and this is what happens in these kinds of tragedies, is people start to look in the direction of issues like infrastructure. And there's no question this country is crumbling from sort of the inside out. And it boils down to money and priorities, and that's kind of the next phase of what the story will be is, when you start to look at earmarks and Department of Transportation, highway bills, and where that money's going. Rick Kaplan today talked about a real focus on that for the evening news in the future, and I'm sure we'll be a big part of that.
All right, well, we'll all be sure to watch tonight, and thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend.